When we think about a positive learning environment, it's so easy to picture colorful posters and, I don't know, a cozy reading nook. But we're going to go so much deeper today. We're not just talking about decorating a room. We're talking about building a powerful ecosystem, one where a student's brain can shift from just surviving to absolutely thriving. So let's dive in and look at the blueprint for how to get it done. And really, this is what it all boils down to. This quote from Dr. Darling Hammond just perfectly sets the stage. A positive environment isn't just some nice-to-have, fluffy extra. It's a neurological necessity. It's literally about building the brain's architecture so it's even capable of learning more. So here's how we're going to build this thing, piece by piece. First, we'll look at the blueprint, why this matters so much. Then we'll pour a solid foundation of safety and calm. On top of that, we'll build a structure of relationships. And then we'll get to the fun part, igniting the spark of engagement. Finally, we'll look at the incredible, lasting impact of all this work. All right, first things first. Before we can even think about building, we have to understand the blueprint, right? We need to know how a learning brain actually works best. So what is it we're actually trying to build? Well, a positive learning environment is a space that checks all these boxes. It's safe, physically and emotionally. It's consistent and predictable. It's supportive. And yeah, it's intellectually engaging. The whole point of all of this? To free up a student's brain to do the one thing it's there to do, learn. And here's the why behind all this. I want you to think of the brain like a computer. If it's constantly running all these background programs, like worrying about what's going to happen next, or feeling unsafe, or processing difficult emotions, it has almost no power left for the main task at hand. Creating calm and consistency reduces all that background noise, freeing up bandwidth for learning. Which brings us to the most critical layer of all, the foundation. This is all about making a conscious shift, moving a student's brain out of that primal fight or flight mode and into a state where they are calm, settled, and actually ready to learn. So how do we pour this foundation? Well, it really comes down to three things you just can't skip. First, you have to guarantee that students feel safe, both from physical harm and from emotional distress. Second, create routines that make the day feel predictable, reliable. And third, and this is a big one, make sure their basic physical needs are being met. And look, this isn't some abstract theory. This stuff comes to life in really simple, powerful ways. A simple greeting at the door says, "I see you, and I'm glad you're here." Just acknowledging a student's feelings validates them. And even little things, like having plants in the room or using calming scents, can physically change the space from chaotic to calm. This is just a fundamental truth of being human, right? You can't build a strong house on a shaky foundation. A student who's hungry or thirsty or just needs to get up and move their body, well, they simply don't have the resources to do any kind of deep thinking. Things like breakfast, water breaks, and time to play aren't extras. They're essential for learning to even begin. Okay, so our foundation is solid. Now we can start building the structure that holds the whole thing together. And that is the human framework. It's all about relationships and mutual respect. And you've really got two ways to go here. On one side, you have a compliance-focused environment. It's all about enforcing rules, discipline, managing the classroom. But on the other side, you have a connection-focused classroom. This is about building trust, earning respect, and really trying to understand the student as a whole person. And the sources are really clear on this. That second approach is what builds a structure that lasts. So how do you actually build that connection? Honestly, it's in the small stuff. It's taking the time to learn about a student's favorite video game. It's being straight with them. It's offering extra help not as a chore, but as a way of saying, "Hey, I believe in you." And let me tell you, one single positive phone call home can change the entire dynamic for a student and their family. It's huge. Okay, our environment is safe, our relationships are strong. Now we can get to the top of the pyramid. This is where the magic happens. This is where we move from creating a place where students can learn to a place where they love to learn. This is the spark. And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've done all this foundational work. Everything is in place. So how do we actually light that fire? How do we spark that passion? Well, the answer is in strategies that find that perfect balance between challenge and support. It's about giving students work that's tough but totally doable. It's about creating these amazing hands-on explorations. And crucially, it's about giving students a voice and a choice in their own learning. When we set high expectations, we're not just being demanding, we're sending a message that we believe in them. And this might be the most important part of all. We have to create a culture where failure isn't a dirty word, where it's just part of the process. An environment where a student can try something, have it not work out, and feel totally safe and even encouraged to try again, that's where the deepest, most authentic learning happens. So, we've built our entire pyramid, from the foundation of safety all the way to the spark of engagement. After all that work, what's the payoff? What's the lasting impact we're really trying to create here? This right here. This is the goal. It's not about grades or test scores or being quiet in the hallway. It's about creating an experience that's so positive, so engaging, and so fulfilling that a student leaves at the end of the day thinking this exact thought: man, school is fun. I can't wait to come back tomorrow. So as we wrap up, I'll leave you with this question. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, a coach, a manager, whatever your role is, what is one small, concrete change you can make, maybe even starting tomorrow, to help build this feeling in your own environment?